This is my Mountain America credit card. I owe $9,143.85. This is my car loan. I owe $12,348.33. And the best one of all, this is a personal loan. I owe $16,799.47.
Most people can't actually afford their lifestyle. What you're seeing is actually a mountain of high interest debt. Credit card debt in America is at an all-time high. Most Americans actually have less than $1,000 in savings, and something like a $500 emergency would be a crisis.
See how tight you're playing it with this car? You're paying $1,300 a month for a Camaro that is almost 10 years old and has 25%.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about a 21-year-old that is paying $1,400 for a Camaro at 25% interest rate. Just saying that is very brutal. We're going to talk about how picking the right partner can truly make or break your financial success and just more credit card problem. Welcome back to the Purely MJ Show. My name is MJ. In this channel, we discuss financial literacy, avoiding debt, and how to make better financial decisions through other people's experience. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help with the YouTube algorithm, push the channel, and for your support. Make sure you watch till the end. Kick back and let's get to it.
So you make $3,000 a month. You're spending almost half of your income on this car.
I was trying to figure out like the negative equity so I could switch over to a Kia. This is my first time ever getting a car. Interest rate is like bullshit. It was like really expensive and like I didn't even think about it.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 21.
What's your interest rate on the car right now?
25%.
How much are you paying on the car?
18 grand left. It was 15 grand when I first got it. They gave me like a gap. Ended up being 20 grand after.
So you make $3,000 a month. That's the thing. You're spending almost half of your income on this car. Do you pay any rent?
I do.
How much is your rent?
I pay like $630.
See how tight you're playing it with this car? You're paying $1,300 a month for a Camaro that is almost 10 years old and has 25% interest. I'm gonna try to give you as much advice as I can. You're about $12,000 to $13,000 in negative equity. You're not gonna be able to get into a Kia K5 for $2,000 down.
I was going to get like a used one and I was going to try to trade it in.
They're gonna offer you, let's say, $5,000 for your Camaro. You have a difference of $13,000. You're going to try to add as much on that as possible, $35,000, and you have $13,000. The balance is gonna be $48,000. So your payment's gonna be even higher, and then you're gonna set yourself up to be in a bad situation when you sell the Kia. Your credit is not.
I feel sorry for this kid
buy a new car
because everything he wants to hear is going to be sad. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be just an anxious experience. As your first car, you should have just bought a $4,000 or $5,000 car. $1,400 for a car at 25% interest, being 21, is crazy as hell. At 21, right, most people are just starting off their financial life. So locking yourself into a $1,400 car payment at 25% interest means you basically have given all the bank access to your paychecks. That's like rent money in most places. I pay $1,600 for my townhouse, right? And the sad part is that the car isn't even the problem. It's the interest. 25% is so huge that a huge portion of that $1,400 isn't even paying the car. It's just feeding the interest. Like you could end up paying double what the car is if you finish that term, the loan term, right? And this is how people stay broke for years, because a payment like that just kills the ability to save, invest, build wealth. Being financially free at 30 is way cooler than looking rich at 21. Let us read some of the comments. People are crazy for an old, ugly Camaro. You tripping? Relax. You ain't gotta go that hard on the kid. I know the dealer was laughing at this deal, shaking my head. How the hell she get 25%? My first loan at 21 was $565 a month at 11%. Somebody said, who's renting $630 a month? The majority of apartments are going for 3 times that much. Yeah, these dealerships should be ashamed. No, listen, these dealerships are greedy, bloodthirsty parasites. They don't care about you. You have to be the one that thinks about themselves and should be shameful of the decisions you make. You know what I mean? It's just so sad. And a lot of these kids don't have guidance because most parents are playing the same game, right? Keeping up with the neighbors, coworkers, trying to flex. It's a sad reality we are in.
We all have those friends where we're like, how do you afford your lifestyle? We know what you do, we know what things cost, and the math just ain't mathin'. I felt the same way in my early 20s, especially living in Scottsdale. I would walk around, I would see the clothes, the cars, the $20 drinks, and genuinely be like, what am I doing wrong? But when I became a financial advisor at 23, my perspective of the world dramatically changed. I got to look under the hood of people's perfect lives, and what I realized is that most people can't actually afford their lifestyle. What you're seeing is actually a mountain of high interest debt. Credit card debt in America is at an all-time high. Most Americans actually have less than $1,000 in savings, and something like a $500 emergency would be a crisis. It's also very apparent that most people weren't paying down student loan debt or contributing to retirement accounts. They were living paycheck to paycheck, and what was coming in was going out. You're never going to see the full story, and these people certainly aren't going to tell you the full story. So just remember, what appears to be a flashy lifestyle on the outside does not mean financial peace on the inside. So the message today is just stop feeling behind because you're living within your means. Playing this comparison game isn't going to get you closer to your financial goals. You know how much cash you have.
Listen, not everybody's broke. I'm gonna say that right now. Everybody is trying to portray that 1% that really has it like that. When you have to take out loans to keep up with people that really have money, you're doing yourself a disservice. And just like she mentioned, people are living through credit card debt, cars they can't afford, at high interests. Listen, I'm not anti-fun. I'm for fun while we can afford it, while we have fun. Like, that's it. I know the government is there to screw us, but at some point, inflation is not your biggest problem. Sometimes the government, sometimes, I'm saying sometimes, right? Emphasis on sometimes. The government has nothing to do with what you got going on. You just don't have the financial literacy to live below your means, to avoid debt, and to be content with what God has blessed you with in that certain time. When you live boring, you do things in life. When you live like nobody else, you live like nobody else. But everybody is molding themselves into this one character that we all are seeming to compete with. Joneses are broke. People are struggling in this economy. And we will get into credit card debt in the next clip because I want to show you how really people are inflating their lifestyle creep, and are just taking out crazy debt to travel, to buy cars they can't afford, to buy consumerism. Let's be real, we're all materialistic. But social media is fake. This world is a deception. It's a beautiful lie. Take your financial prosperity very seriously. And a lot of the times, people want to blame the parents. But if my parents are broke and playing the same game like my neighbor, I'm going to turn the other way and I make better decisions, because you know why? If I know what broke is, I know what rich is. And I want that. Comment down below what you think.
Do you want to see what $60,000 worth of debt looks like? Hi, I'm Christy, and I overshare about my debt so you can feel better about yours. This is my US Bank credit card, and I have $2,396.08. This is a Citi credit card, and I owe $9,012.20. This is Chase Sapphire. I used to use this card for the travel benefits. Obviously, that's not what's happening anymore. I owe $6,427. This is my Columbia Bank credit card. I owe $4,121.31. This is my Mountain America credit card. I owe $9,143.85. This is my car loan. I owe $12,348.33. And the best one of all, this is a personal loan. I owe $16,799.47. Always remember to be kind, especially to yourself.
I got secondhand trauma just watching this. When people open up credit cards, because she has 60K, right? I had 20,000. I had 1/3 of what she got. Nobody wakes up, right? Applies for a credit card and says, I am going to max out this credit card. It starts out small, because what you're dealing with is a huge reserve of financial manipulation that these credit cards and psychology that these credit card companies are, basically just putting in our eyes. A $10,000 limit. It's going to start off like this. Oh, I need some food. I'm at work. Bow. Then you're going to spend it on gas. Then you're going to spend it on a car bill, right? Oil change. Then you're going to keep tapping, because they understand tap is way easier than reaching and counting the money. I even tested this, right? I had cash when I had credit debt, right? I had cash, but I was like, nah, I have a card. It's safer, more secure. It hurted that I had to use my cash to pay for this. So that's the type of psychology you're dealing with. And what's sad is that, you know, debt avoidance is the cornerstone of financial freedom. Like when you cultivate the discipline to live within your means and invest wisely, your future self is going to thank you for your financial discipline. You know what I mean? And just escaping the suffocating grip of debt. And when you embrace financial liberation through disciplined living and strategic investments, you start to breathe better. You start to live better. You make better relationships. You sleep better at night. I can't go to sleep at night having 60K in debt. I couldn't sleep with 1/3 of that at 20K in debt. So I had to make huge sacrifices. I had to work like a freaking donkey to get that thing paid nonstop. Lost sleep. Couldn't sleep. And again, it's always a car payment. It's always a car payment. So when we have these type of debt, what happens is we don't really tackle the debt that we took out also for school. So America's a debt-based system, and I understand why she's in it, but I do give her respect because to come out and share this online, that takes a lot of discipline itself. Shout out to you for doing that. I couldn't do that.
People do not talk about how your significant other is either going to be your superpower or your liability. If you're someone that's driven and you're motivated and you have a significant other that can see the plan for the future and not just the present,
1,000%.
it changes
1,000%. If you pick a partner that values the dollar, that shows that she values herself or himself, which will then give you a good life and you guys will enjoy life together. But when you have somebody that is reckless, that wants to keep up with social media accounts and social comparison, and wants you to fund a travel or an experience through debt or credit debt or personal loans that you have to take out to make her happy, that becomes a liability. That becomes a shackle that's hard to escape. If you want shackles and you want to limit your choices, pick the wrong partner. But if you choose financial freedom, then pick somebody that is trying to avoid debt, that has a little bit of financial literacy, that is patient, that is disciplined, that understands delayed gratification, and then you pick the right partner. Because the number one indicator of divorce is financial disagreements and financial struggle. Once you understand that, you and your partner understand that every decision to avoid debt is a step closer to a life of abundance and possibility, then that's when you start winning. Your journey towards freedom begins with the choices you make today. So pick the right partner, avoid debt, you know what I mean? Stay away from these car payments. Most people don't understand interest and how interest works. If you have a 25% interest, that $1,400 car payment you're making, only $300 of that will go towards the principal and $1,100 of that goes towards the interest. Most people need to understand what an amortization table is or an amortization schedule, right? You can find that for a house or a car before you make a decision. You can crunch these numbers, but financial literacy should start with our parents, but it should start with it. But if you don't have that and your parents are playing the keeping up with Jones's game, then it becomes your responsibility because knowledge and, financial prosperity and the goal of financial independence is honestly your decision. It's your responsibility. But if you made it this far, I really do appreciate you. You're special in my heart. And I'm going to end the video here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm and for you supporting the channel. Hit that post notification for future videos. Be good, do good. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.